Here are 10 things that I like about the Google Pixel 8 Pro now that the dust has settled. And in my last video, I was super annoyed with the 8 Pro because my charging port stopped working for some reason. Luckily, now it's back up and working again, and I am in a better mood. So today I'm going to talk about 10 things that I actually do like about the Google Pixel 8 Pro. And some of it is just small things, but the little quality of life improvements that matters to me. So first on the list, nothing crazy, but I like the fact that when you scroll down the notification panel, you scroll down twice, the settings option actually move all the way down to the bottom. This is minor, but really convenient. On Samsung phones, when I need to reach a setting, I have to scroll all the way to the top, especially on larger phones like the Google Pixel 8 Pro. You don't want to have to crawl your finger all the way to the top, and it's really challenging to do with one hand. So I like that the fact that they moved it to the bottom makes it so much easier for single-handed use. Second thing I like about the 8 Pro is it is supported for 7 years. So whatever cool features that you see on the upcoming Google Pixel 9 Pro, it's likely going to come to the 8 Pro at some point another, maybe in 3 months, maybe in 6 months, but it's coming eventually. All these phones are getting supported for 7 years, and these days when you buy a new phone, you are just paying for the ability to get these features first, but you wait long enough, it's eventually going to be available for free. So new phones are really just for the early adopters, the beta tester, people who want to try things first and are willing to pay a premium for it. Some features may stick around, some features will definitely get axed eventually, knowing Google. All good things will eventually come to an end. For example, Google VPN, Google Music, timelines in Google Maps, and even the photosphere feature. Google got rid of it in the Google Pixel 8 series. I don't really use the photosphere that often, but I have seen some people in the comments talk about how they enjoy using that feature. Just want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently they offer 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. You have access to unlimited text, data, and calling. You do have to buy 3 months upfront, but overall it is a great deal, so make sure to check them out. Link in the description below. The thing I like about this phone is the refreshing mint color. As I mentioned in my other videos, I am not a fan of plain boring colors. I always go for the funky green, yellow, pink, anything that looks different, exciting, colorful, playful. I don't like the boring colors, so all for these new mint tastes. And even though it is considered mint green, it is actually more on the white side. It is a pale green, very light. It's like a splash. So if you look at it from a certain angle, it might even look like a white phone, which is fine. It just makes it a little interesting enough for me. But you put any case on your phone, it doesn't really matter. I like to use my phone without cases, so I appreciate the aesthetics more. Fourth thing I like is the matted finish in the back. When I used the Google Pixel 6 and 7, those things had glass back and they were fingerprint magnet. They have always bothered me. I mean, not like I look at the back that often, but when you do, it just looks messy and dirty. Not a fan of fingerprint. At least now, that's no longer an issue in 8 Pro. Fifth thing that I like about the Google Pixel 8 Pro, this is not specific to the 8 Pro, but just for Pixels in general, is the call screening. It's a really helpful option. You do have to go into the settings and turn it on, but it's a great way to filter out spam. You can just have Google do the screen call for you, so you don't need to talk to people. You don't gotta pick up and yell at people or deal with it. Just small quality of life improvements. It's always the little things that I appreciate. Alrighty, so this is the next day. Finally have a chance to record the second part of the video. Originally I was only able to get through 5 things. Then my son woke up from his nap, had to make dinner, get ready for bed, bathe, whole routine, dad life. But anyways, another thing I noticed that with the Google Pixel 8 Pro, you cannot do the split screen mode and using the camera. So the camera is not an option. Right now I'm walking and recording this video. Ideally, I would have preferred to use Google Keep as notes on one side and then the camera on the other side. I'm able to do that on my Samsung phones, but on the Pixel phone, I wasn't able to do that. I first discovered this when I was using the Moto G Stylus 2024. I thought it was a Motorola thing, but I think it might be more of a stock Android camera thing where it's not enabled as a split screen option by default, which is interesting to see. I don't use split screen that often, but the one situation where I want to use it is that, because normally these screens are large and all, but I don't find myself wanting to do social media on one half and watch YouTube on the other half. The only situation where I want to use split screen is when I record videos like these, where I can record the video on one side and look at my notes on the other side. So even though this is a video meant to be things that I like about this phone, I'm still finding random things that I do not like. So anyways, let's focus on the positive. Seventh thing I like about this phone is the fact that it has a pretty loud speaker. I can tell it's much louder than the Galaxy S24 when I listen to music in the shower. Unfortunately, it's not as loud as OnePlus or even Motorola. I don't really have a good way of measuring that. I don't have any decibel measurement. It's just kind of a gut and feel type of thing. When I have it sitting in the shower, it just sounds much louder. I mean, it makes sense. It's a bigger phone, so it should have a bigger speaker chamber and all that. It's louder than the base model. Same thing with the S24 Ultra. Bigger phones louder than small phone. Sounds straightforward, but small quality of life improvements. These are what you're paying for with the more expensive phone. With bigger phones come bigger speakers. And now for my next point, I will try to pause this video and look at my notes since I cannot do it side by side. Okay, so that did work. I paused the camera and then I did the recent menu to see my notes. It's not ideal, but it works. I do like that even when I do the recent menu, I can still see the camera recording on the side. I think that's kind of neat. At least I know it did not get actively shut down due to RAM management or just over processing. But the seventh thing I like about this phone is just the camera in general. I know I talked about the macro camera, but I've always enjoyed using the Google Pixel camera. This is me using the selfie camera, recording the video. I have taken a lot of good pictures on this phone as well. Just walking around, you see flowers or nice things. You can just point your phone up and close. You want to get some macro photos, so that's pretty nice. Or even just taking random shots or beaver in the pond the other day. Took a picture of that. Don't see too many beavers around. But that's fine. You can get as close as 5x zoom. You can go beyond that as well, but those are digital zoom and they generally tend to be not as good. You can't get all the way to 100x zoom like the Galaxy S Ultra series, but even so 100x is kind of gimmicky. But it would have been nice to have that capability. I think this phone top off at 20 or 30x, which is fine. Camera is more than enough. You're getting Pixel for the camera experience. Not necessary videos, but point and shoot, can't really go wrong there. And now I'm gonna try and switch back using the recent menu and see if it's gonna keep recording or if it's gonna stop. Okay, that was cool. It still kept recording even when I did the recent option to go look at my notes briefly. And I guess I'm probably better off just pausing the video. There's no need for me to record myself reading my notes. Another thing that I just noticed and want to point out is you can go to your recent app and preview your notes section, but you accidentally switch to another app, then the camera will shut off. So this is what just happened to me. Earlier I had one continuous video clip, now I have to record a new one because I accidentally opened up my notes app and now I gotta record a new clip. But no biggie, I'll just piece it together when I do my video edit. The next thing I like about this phone is just the ease of customizing apps in the home screen. I can just search for the app and then long press on it, drag it anywhere I want on my home screen. Pretty straightforward the way that it should be. And right now I'm walking by a lawnmower. I have my Galaxy phone. I can just switch the camera over and show it to you guys. Fortunately, cannot do that on the Pixel, so I will keep it moving. I don't feel like stopping and recording another clip. But at least you guys can see the audio quality, see if it's good at noise reductions, because it's pretty loud in the background where I'm walking. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna sound once I finish recording this clip. I know one of the AI features they have, you can edit out these background noise with the AI tool. Maybe I'll play around with that if it gets too loud. But I do remember there was some limitation a while back when I was doing it. I think it might be only be up to like a 1 to 5 minute video that you can do it. You cannot process a 10 or 20-minute video. So it's just something to keep in mind. A lot of these AI tricks are cool, but they do have small limitations like that. Nothing that I really miss or really need on a day-to-day basis. I switch phones so often. I don't find myself missing any of the Google AI tricks or even the Samsung AI tricks. For me, they're just tricks, a little gimmicky. I'm pretty sure for some people they can find specific use cases for them. But anyways, going back to my point about drag and drop. One reason why I call it out, because on Samsung phone, this is actually really annoying to do. When you search for an app and you find it, you can't just hold it and drag into your home screen. Once you hold down the app, it gives you a few options such as add it to the home screen, but when you do that, sometimes it just go to a random place that you wasn't expecting it to. So it's not as intuitive, or you might need to hold it down longer. It's just the Samsung UI experience, not as easy for customizing apps. I mean, once you kind of throw them where you want, you can just leave it there. It's not like something I do every single day. But just small quality of life, ease of use. I prefer the Pixel experience. You haven't noticed, a lot of things I like are generally small things that just makes my life easier. I don't like extra steps turning on Wi-Fi. I don't want to have to press 10 different buttons to turn on Wi-Fi. Last thing I like about this phone is how the camera is organized when you first launch the camera. On the bottom, all your photo options on the left side. On the right hand side, you see the camera option. Just nice and organized. When using Samsung phone, they have all the options lined up at once. So it can be, morning, how are you? Just little quality of life improvements like that is helpful. I just wish they have the last use option. So every time I launch the camera, I don't have to keep switching over to video. It's always on pictures by default. There you guys have it. Those are the 10 things I like about the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Let me know if you have any thoughts, question, concern, anything else you want me to cover. I'll do a final review soon with this phone, but overall, it is a fine phone with a lot of room for improvement. Since it is a $1,000 phone, I do have higher expectations. Alright guys, appreciate the time as always. Remember to like and subscribe. Please check out my last video where I went on a rant and talked about 7 things I do not like about this phone. If you want to hear more about that, I appreciate the time as always, and see you guys in the next video.